Welcome to Ask Your Spirit Guides with Dr. Victoria Shaw, your weekly gateway to divine guidance and soul alignment. Each week, intuitive counselor and spiritual teacher Dr. Victoria Shaw connects with spirit to bring through live channeled messages from your personal guides, offering clarity, healing, and support on your journey. Whether you receive a personal reading or simply tune in, know that every episode delivers a powerful energetic transmission meant just for you. We're live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific on SoulSearch TV, streaming online on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our mobile app. Take a deep breath, open your heart, and prepare to receive. This is Ask Your Spirit Guides, and your journey starts now.
All right. We are live with Ask Your Spirit Guides, episode 11. We can believe it. The summer has gone so fast. It's so wonderful. What an adventure. My name is Allison, and I am privileged to stand in for Tangela, founder of SoulSearch and SoulSearch TV, where you can watch replays of this and prior episodes, and be sure to catch Victoria's original series, Living in Alignment. We are so looking forward to another insightful journey this evening with Dr. Shaw, a lifelong intuitive and amazing spiritual guide and counselor, all combined with her doctorate in psychology from Princeton University, giving her and you uniquely delivered messages from your spirit guides. If you've been watching or listening each week, you'll have received many messages from your spirit guides, as they not only speak to you directly, but also through others. The wonderful thing about live readings is that very often we hear additional insights in the stories of others. So take a deep breath, shake loose the day, and get ready to receive. Welcome to episode 11, and welcome, Victoria.
Thank you. I'm excited. And I'm excited. I was just interviewing on my podcast right before I came on for this one. Abby, who is is going to be episode 1 of season 2 of Living in Alignment. So I'm getting really excited. She was doing a little follow-up interview that's going to air before the show. So
it's how much fun.
It's a backwards follow-up teaser. I don't know what it was, but I'm getting so excited for that. And so the way I usually do this is I pop on and share a little bit of guidance or something in general that comes through from my guides and from your guides. And then I will tune in, and Allison will call each of you guys on stage separately, and I will do my best to be a conduit or channel for your guides and your higher self and your soul and all of that good stuff to get answers to your questions. And, I always remind everyone at the start of every individual session, and it's always bears repeating again, the way that I look at the gift that I have and the work that I am so honored to get to do. And I think this is really true of all of us and everything in the world, but I really stand behind it for myself is I'm a conduit or channel for you to hear your own inner guidance, because we all have the answers inside of us. And I may have expertise in certain areas. I went to fancy schools and learned stuff and all of that. And I also have my human perspective, which is going to be different than your human perspective. And so that can be really helpful too, that, we grow and are informed by other people in our world. But ultimately, it's so important that you vet any information that you get from outside of yourself within to see how it resonates, because that's the gold standard and that's your intuition at work. And we all have it. So I just wanted to remind everyone of that as we move forward on tonight's readings and show. And this afternoon, I had the honor to be on a panel with a lot of super high-powered businessy type people, helping my friend Abby promote a beautiful retreat she has coming up here in San Diego in October. And, I'm so used to preaching to the choir and talking to people that are just totally on board with all things woo, that sometimes I feel a little bit like out of my lane when I'm talking to people that are not totally on board. And one of the questions that I got, and it was addressed to the whole panel, but I felt especially, being the intuitive person on the panel, that it was addressed to me. we were talking about, why is intuition important in retreats and your retreat business? And somebody said, I get that intuition is important, but like, how do you decide between, following your intuition and then, the hard truth of like, looking at the numbers, right? Like, how do you know which one to do? Because, obviously they're at odds. And, that question kind of rubbed me the wrong way, though I know it was a great question. And I know that it came, from a place of curiosity, but also I think from a place of really misunderstanding what our intuition is, what its purpose is, and all the beautiful things that we can use it for. Because oftentimes we think of intuition, right, as this blind, passion or idea, ungrounded in creating things in the 3D, right, in the 3D world. But nothing could be further from the truth. Your intuition is your divine GPS system, right? It is that little part of you that's connected to soul, source, guides, all that is that part of you remembers all of the things that your human self has temporarily forgot. Okay. And it's not supernatural, right? It's part of the natural order of things, just like you are part of the natural order of things, just like your human self is actually made of your divine self. There's really no distinction between those two things other than the point of perspective that your soul is choosing right now, right? Right now, you're choosing this point of perspective through your particular human lens. Right. And so for me, the question was like both. There's no either or, there's no competition here. And that in fact, as we listen more and more to our soul, right, we can make all those mundane daily, decisions too. Your spiritual GPS, your intuition is here to inform you on all aspects of life. And it's also not the case that if you are following those soul's intent, if you are really excited, if you will really enjoy, if you are really, I don't know, just following your, as Bashar would say, if you follow his Daryl Anko's work, your highest excitement, if you're following those soul nudges, you're not being irresponsible. You're not necessarily or not at all like ignoring the mundane world, the paying the bills, the getting stuff done, right? These things are not at odds. They're very, very much intertwined, and we really can have both. And it's really what we came here to do is not to transcend the human experience, right? We came to infuse the human experience with our full divine nature. We chose to relearn who it is to be who we really are through this human lens, right? And so living your human life, whether you're paying your taxes or, embarking on a spiritual retreat or watching a show on SoulSearch TV or getting an intuitive reading or feeding your dog, right? It's all made of the same stuff. And everything that we do in this human world is an act of our soul. It's soulfulness, it's spiritual, it's divinely inspired. And the more we recognize that every aspect of our human being is informed by, our divine guidance, or can be, that's when life gets really, really magical and really special. And then we don't sort of worry that, you're not going like this when you're following your intuition. You're going like that. So just wanted to share that. And that's all. I'm ready. I'm ready to answer your questions.
I love that. The intersection of the
Yeah. It really surprised me because I don't think of those two things at odds, but I think people often think, if I'm following my heart, it's going to lead me off the cliff unless I check with my head first. And those two things are the same. Like I follow my heart and then, I let my mind be a tool for figuring things out and interfacing with the human world. But what I don't do is let it take the lead anymore, because the human mind, as great as it is, when it takes the lead, it usually drives us on fear. And I like to live, by love and joy. Anyway, but I like having a mind too, because otherwise I couldn't talk to you. I couldn't pay my taxes. And if I didn't pay my taxes, I couldn't stay in my house. And so, the 3D world matters too.
Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful.
I'm ready.
All right. Michelle, would you like to join us on camera? And
sure. Hi.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Beautiful. I'm going to take a second to tune into your energy, and then you can tell me what you'd like guidance on, okay?
Mhm.
I'm just going to tune in. Michelle, do you mind giving me your full name? Because that helps me tune in.
Michelle Dustrade.
Dustrade. Okay. Got it. Ask the ministry of interest myself. Client Michelle Dustrade with beautiful white light has opened my heart to divine unconditional love. You're a very creative person and asked to connect to my highest self, guides, and angels. And as my client Michelle, to be a clear channel with which to receive and communicate their wisdom, I ask to let go of the expectations I have towards the outcome of the work that we do together today. And I ask that the outcome of this work serve the highest and greatest good. Amen. All right, Michelle, when I tune into your energy, there's a little bit of a heaviness around you, a little bit of like an exhaustion, frustration, exasperation. Does that resonate at all? And
100%.
All right, tell me what you'd like guidance on today.
Well, the frustration and the everything, it was my husband today. So.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. But I think that I want guidance on what my financial future looks like in the way of, I mean, I've been thinking like I know I can't retire for another 10 years, but gosh, it's really starting to like look there. And so I want to see where that's at. And also, there's been some changes at my company, and is it a good time to go to another company? Maybe. Okay. Some of that is tough because.
Okay, we're good. We're good. I'm going to stop you. You can, but I want to get it from your guides, because what sometimes happens too is we have so many ideas about what's possible, what's not, what's good, what's not, and that it kind of creates this film in front of our eyes of limitation. And again, you have to pay attention to it, right? Because what you believe is what you're going to live. Mm-hmm. So if you just pretend you don't believe something that you really do, it's not going to get you very far, right? Mm-hmm. If I believed that I could fly, then I could, go to the tallest cliff and alight, it would happen. But I don't believe that. And it's very unlikely in this body, with everything that I've learned about life and space and human bodies, that I'm ever going to get there. So when I get to the edge of a cliff, I take a step back, not forward, right? Mm-hmm. On the other hand, sometimes, your guides, your higher self, your soul knows the fastest way to get to your goals through all the belief systems and all, right? And so sometimes if we think about something too hard, rather than finding our way, we create more resistance. Okay. And I think that's a little bit what's going on with you. You have a lot of fear around this. You have a lot of fear around, and it's just funny that what came through at the beginning today, because you can't make this stuff up. And there's always these synchronicities. It's freaking crazy. I swear, guys, I hadn't met her. I didn't know her question. It just always lines up. But for you, I do feel that you take a lot of pride in like your job, in making money, in like self-supporting, in like being responsible. These are things that have always been really important to you. And at the same time, I think you're tired. You're a little annoyed. You don't want to have to keep doing it. You've been doing it a long time. You'd like life to be a little bit easier. You'd like not to have to, I don't know if you literally like check in and check out with a time card, but like it just feels like that kind of way of living is just, it's not so much fun for you anymore. It's a little bit, it's just, you're exhausted. You're just exhausted. You're not enjoying it anymore. And sometimes when we stop enjoying things anymore, what we can do without, realizing it is we inadvertently give a call to the universe. I don't want to do this anymore. And the universe listens. And so sometimes what happens is the universe is like, oh, you don't want to do this anymore? Okay. And, a position's eliminated, or, you know what I mean? It's not that you failed, it's that you asked for it. Okay. And I see this again and again. Okay. So I want you to be aware of that, because you're kind of asking for it. You're kind of tired. You're afraid to leap. You don't know that you can fly. And, but the more tired you are, it is kind of slowing your progress down in this job. And you know what I'm saying? And then I also feel that there is a lot of sort of inner conflict where you're working. It's like, I don't know if this is literally the case, but it's like, if it was a family business, all the people in the family are now kind of arguing about what the future is, and nobody can kind of decide anything. And so there's just a lot of disorganization and disorder from within. And so it feels already like if it was a building, the walls are kind of starting to collapse inward, because the people that are supposed to be holding up the four walls are all kind of arguing with each other. Okay. So that might be another reason, like, to get out before the building collapses upon you. But you'll know, like, which is the better path. You know, is it better to stay until it's done? Is that more beneficial for me financially? Or is it better to jump ship? Is that going to be more beneficial to me financially? And right now, I don't get a clear answer. I almost think you may get a better package if the company dissolves or lets you go than if you leave. But that's just what it looks like right now. That could change. Okay. Because your guides say that if you got excited about something else and really wanted to go somewhere else, then that rainbow bridge would appear. But it feels like right now you kind of don't want to do this at all. So it's kind of hard to let go. Okay, well, I'm going to leave here and go there, because, like, you don't really want to go there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I think you want to retire is what I'm saying.
Or a little more free time than, so,
Yeah.
you know, for 80 hours a couple weeks or bi-weekly. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
And so you may get an exit plan without wanting one, because there's a lot of internal instability in the place where you're working. It's not just about you, but there's a lot of infighting, and there's just, I can't imagine it's the most pleasant place to work right now. If I'm reading it correctly, you're there, I'm not. So vet it with your experience, but that's what it looks like to me.
It's stressful right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just, and the stress is not bringing out the best in a lot of people too.
Right.
So a lot of people are kind of, that were okay before, are kind of more on their worst behavior now. So it's just becoming an increasingly, it's sort of like if everyone was locked in a box and you kept turning up the temperature, they would get increasingly stinky.
It's a lot more negative vibes there, which
than it used to be, because everyone's kind of running on fear and nerves and trying to protect themselves and trying to, so do you know what I mean? Like, so you may want to leave, but it just feels like right now because you're not really excited about anything else, I don't see any other prospects yet. Okay. But they may arise. So if there's different things that you want to do or different things that you want to explore, now would be a really good time to start dreaming about that, start putting out feelers. Sometimes it's very random, like I had a friend yesterday whose position was eliminated, and a week later, someone that she had had lunch with at a conference called her and said, I got this grant, and I actually wrote you into the grant because of the conversation we had at lunch 2 years ago, and I want you to come tomorrow and take this job. Right. It
works.
Happen. Yeah, it can happen. But what you need to do to kind of facilitate that is start putting out feelers and stop limiting yourself. So rather than what you think is possible, because what you think is possible is going to limit you, just start to think about what you want. Just start to think about what you want, like as if you were just kind of like playing with clay, and you're like, oh, wow, I kind of like how it looks this way. And then you mush it up, and then you play with, oh, I like this one too. And so it's playful. It's not final. You're not trying to figure out. You're not trying to strategize. You're just trying to free your mind a little bit to say, I'd like to work less hours. I'd like to work on this side of town, not that side of town. I'd like an office with a window. I'd like to be able to put my plant on my desk. Whatever the things, I'd like to make enough money that I only have to do this for another 5 years. Right. And you'll feel into each one. Like the first ones, you could really believe, like I saw all of those, your energy was like aligned with the possibility of things. The last one. So again, you don't change it. Don't try to fix it. Like we have to be where we're at with our beliefs, but that might be like, oh, like start to feel into, to kind of makes more sense for yourself for abundance. You can start to think about like, where do I have money flowing now? Like, focus on how much money you have now. And sometimes when we focus on what we have now, like, oh, it's so great that I can afford a manicure. It's so great that I can stop and get coffee every day or have lunch out once a week or whatever your metric is. But oftentimes when we celebrate those things, the back of our mind is saying, until I retire, right? Or How am I going to have money to do that forever? So what they're inviting you to do instead, Michelle, if this makes sense, is to just celebrate what's the abundance that you have now. Just really enjoy it, because you have quite a bit of money flowing, and just trust that the more that you celebrate, the more it will be in the flow for you forever. You don't have to figure it out. You don't have to do anything rash, but I want you to get comfortable with the fact that I can just celebrate and appreciate abundance. And more I'm just going to trust. I don't have to figure out, but it's going to be there. Okay. And as you do that, I think you're going to find it come through very fun little places, maybe not your work, but other things. And it's going to get you more in the flow of trusting in your own abundance, independent of one particular channel of getting there.
Okay.
Okay. And that's going to free you up to retire sooner rather than later.
Great.
Does that make sense what I said so far?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Cool.
100%. I get, a little stuck and frustrated and bogged down. And that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I need to remember and have this chat with myself and spirit and be able to not focus more on the, like you said, that what I have and where it's that if the abundance is here, and it instead of worrying it's going to go, because then I'm projecting that.
Yeah. And it's also not fun. Like, you want to enjoy what you have when you have it, It's like, if you my son used to spend the whole summer. I only have 3 weeks left. Or I only have 3 months. I only have 2, every day from June on, I'd be like, dude, enjoy your summer. And if you can't enjoy your summer, we don't want to share this with you.
Yeah.
God bless his soul. Well, I love you, son. But because
I get it.
So but for you too, the work environment is tricky and hard. So make sure that you're doing other things for yourself while you're still there to enjoy yourself. And how do I say this? Right now, everyone's really mean and everyone's working really hard, because it's almost like everyone's trying to prove that they're indispensable. So they're not the one who gets cut.
Right.
And I think whoever gets cut, it's just a politics game, and it's a mess game. And again, part of you kind of wants to get cut anyway. So I'd take the paycheck while you got it. I'd start thinking about other things. But I wouldn't work yourself to the bone.
Yeah.
They don't really deserve it. And it's not going to make a difference. So I'm not telling you to blow off your work, but I am saying, just don't overcompensate. Just chill a little bit. Just have a little bit more lightness. Just, what I mean? Remember that nothing is worth, and that part of my getting to the next phase in my life is to be like, I'm going to get to that tomorrow. I'm going to put a sign on my door that says working. And then I'm going to doodle for a while about all the other jobs I really want, and make it play. Because they're showing me too, when you were a kid, you were a great daydreamer. And many of the things, the good things that you experience now because you daydreamed them as a child. And they say this is the time to just daydream. Just daydream some more and have fun with that.
Got it.
Okay?
Okay.
Sending you so much love.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Letting her go. Ready for number 2.
Beautiful. Wonderful. Yuri, would you like to join us on camera and audio?
Hi, Yuri.
Let's get your audio going.
Oh.
There we go.
Hello, Victoria.
Hey, how are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How can I support you today?
I don't know.
You don't have a question?
Do I want to have a question?
You definitely have some questions. I don't know if you've articulated them, but I see them in your energy.
Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot going on, and your energy is it's very interesting. You have a very intense energy, and it's very, 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 very active. And I think sometimes a little bit scattered, if that makes sense. So I think that there are times when it's a little bit hard. There are times when you're like, and you make things happen. But I think there's other times when it's a little bit hard for parts of your energy to kind of ignite and manifest and really connect with the human world. I don't know if that makes sense, but some of the things that you want to create or want to do might not be landing right now. because I just feel that there's just a lot going on in your energy, and it's just not matching right now. Your energy is not matching fully what you want to create. So anyway, but ask me a question, because your face says that's not landing at all, or maybe you're processing.
Oh, what do you mean by what do I want to manifest?
I don't know. I have no idea what you want to manifest. I'm not in your shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, something made you take the call today. Tell me what that is, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think everyone's just curious about, right, like including myself, is with the person I'm kind of dating.
Okay.
Curious about what you feel.
Okay. I can tune back into that a little bit. When I was looking at your energy, it was more professionally. So if there's something you're trying to do professionally or creatively, that's what I was seeing. It's just that your energy it's almost like sometimes you have an energy that, there's a feeling that it doesn't really match what the world is looking for. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? It's like, it feels sometimes like it's too complicated for, maybe this has to do with the romantic relationship too, but like, I see this energy swirl behind you. Okay. And it's this feeling like sometimes you feel that my energy is too complicated to really connect with like everyday life, an everyday thing, and getting the things that I want. It might also be a feeling of being misunderstood a little bit. And so what your guides want you to know is, and I want to get this right from them, because your energy is like, it's almost like you don't want to hear what I have to say. So it's hard for me to get anything.
No, I really want to actually hear it. I'm very open to hear what you
All right,
want to
cool.
say.
All right, I want to find it then. And I'm
Yes.
sending you so much love. There's zero criticism in this. I'm just trying to find the thread so I can be most of service to you. Yeah, you have a very it's very like a particular energy signature, and it definitely feels otherworldly. It feels, like where I always feel like my presentation here is a bunch of human lifetimes. I joke I'm like, I'm like 675 or whatever. You have an energy that you've been to Earth before. It's not your first rodeo by any means. And you've been like a high priestess. You really resonate probably with those kinds of roles and energy. I'm looking, there's a plant behind you too, which is what I'm seeing in my mind.
Yes.
So it's so funny. It's like the same energy, but I just think sometimes there's this feeling like I don't relate well to the human world. Like I don't really understand how to be here. And like, I don't know how to make my energy match with like a human signature so that I can really like feel at home here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely don't feel my energy matches with the human world for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. And the guys want to talk to you about that, because
Okay.
again, it's universal across many of the things that you do. It starts with your family of origin, because I don't think, that you were super like them, or the culture that you came from. Like, so there's a lot of like misfitting kind of vibe. But they also say that you come from, and I don't usually speak this lingo, but this is what your guides say. You come from like a star, or I'm just going to use their words. You come from like a star lineage, that feels superficially incompatible with human life. Okay.
Right.
But they say it's absolutely not. And they give me this image of like, you feel as if you're like a star seed, or a person like dropped onto Earth, like, oops, the spaceship dropped me out on the wrong planet, and I got here and I don't know how to breathe here, and I don't know how to flourish here. And what they're saying is no soul chooses to be on Earth if they don't belong here, if it's not so they want you to know you belong. You chose to be here. It's very important for you to be here, and that ultimately your energy can blend really, really, really nicely with the human experience. And what you need to do more of is, and I want to get this right from them because it's just not what I would normally tell somebody. What you have to, this is what I would tell people, is that you really have to, the more that you honor and cherish yourself just as you are, and understand that in your uniqueness and your difference is exactly what you're here to share with Earth. it's going to free you up a lot, because you've done two things in the past. One thing that you've done is try to make your energy fit with everyone else. And that's been disastrous, because it just doesn't work. It doesn't work for you. That's not who you are. And it's caused you a lot of pain, I see, and a lot of grief and a lot of disconnection. And then the other thing that you do is sort of get fanciful about the energy, but not as a way of, I'm going to be me and I'm going to invite you to be part of that and see how beautiful it is, but from a place of, I'm going to be me, I'm only going to be me, and if you don't like it, I'm not going to give you the finger, but you get the idea. And so you inadvertently, because you have this belief that the human world isn't ready for, all of your true colors, I think that sometimes you push people away inadvertently. So I think that the more you can celebrate how magical you are, to remember that you are here for a reason, you did choose to be here, your energy is exactly what Earth needs right now. And that, again, even if people can't see everything, right, that you have to share, when I give readings, and especially when I do channeled teachings, right, and when my podcast, I know that people don't always hear everything that I say. Okay. They don't always hear it. They take and they pick and choose what resonates with them. And I trust that. I trust that. And sometimes I have clients that don't hear anything that I say and they still like the experience, or they don't. But I know that I planted some seeds. I got it in. So it's not about you fitting yourself into the keyhole from which people can view you and your beautiful energy. It's about you being exactly who you are and just offering who you are to those that can accept it and enjoy it. And people will vibe with different aspects of that beautiful energy and that beautiful person that you bring to this planet. Okay. And they don't have to it's not a judgment. They don't have to even like all of it. But the more that you can seamlessly and shamelessly and joyously be you, the more you're going to really experience heaven on earth. That's what your guides want to say. Okay. And then I can answer the specific question first, but I want to know if any of that landed.
Yeah, I think I'm processing. I mean, I definitely understand that um uh, it's just because it is when and not necessarily because I don't belong, but I think how the words transform is where I feel like I don't necessarily connect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do believe that I'm here for the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's more about being you. It's not worrying about whether you connect or not, because you'll find the people that connect with you, or the ways that you can connect with other people, right? So for example, I'm not big on politics. Okay. But I have friends that like politics, and I might want to go out to dinner with them and talk about other things, but we don't talk about politics because that's not something I enjoy talking about. It's not wrong, but if they were talking about those topics, we wouldn't be compatible. But if we're talking about the band we both love, then we would be compatible, right? And so you can do some of that too. But also, as what the guides say is, as you live more and thrive more in your master zone, or your zone of mastery, like where you thrive, you're naturally going to find other people that are going to align with that, right? So it's not about, I talked today about being on this panel, right? And that was great, but they're not really my zone of, they're not really, the people on this call were not necessarily my people. They weren't not my people. I think, that there's things to be gained by talking about intuition with everyone, right? But they're not necessarily the people that are really going to they're not part of my soul squad necessarily, right? But that's okay. That's okay.
Right.
So you don't have to fit yourself into a box. It's about you learning to be who you are and trust that that's okay, that that's enough. And that, if something doesn't vibe with you, don't go there, and find the places that you can vibe. But if you vibe, if someone asks, vibes with part of you, that's okay too. You don't have to go where you don't want to go. So I hope this makes sense. I don't want to spend any more time on this because we got five other people, but I want to tune into the other question that you asked really quick and see if we can't get you something there too.
So so this person that I feel like possibly my soulmate, that so I'm just curious what you pick up.
Give me your first name in the chat, just because we want to keep his name private, but I need to see it to get
okay. I have to send it to you only.
I don't know. Is the chat recorded? Probably not.
Okay, so I'm just sending you. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So let me kind of tune into that. I think it's a very nice connection that you have right now. I think that there's a lot of warmth between you. I think he's definitely intrigued with you. He likes you. He's very charismatic. He's a little more comfortable in his skin than you are. And I think that he's intrigued by you in a way that I think is really good for you. Like, I think he likes you as you are. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so I think that that's a really, really beneficial start. Again, I think that you're not the most trusting person I've ever met. Like, it's my read, like you're not that you think everyone's like out to get you, but like you're just, you have a tender heart and some disappointments, and you've been misunderstood a lot. And so, and you've had some loss. So it's a little bit hard for you to like open your heart to someone. It's very easy for him. So, there's that disconnect if I'm reading him correctly. Like he's very comfortable, kind of like, let's see where it goes, but you're a little bit more like one step at a time, a little more reticent. And I would say just go with it. Just enjoy it. Every connection is a soulmate connection to some degree. Everyone that we encounter in this world is an opportunity for us to grow and learn something more about ourselves and gain something. And oftentimes, ideally, the fun ones are the ones where it feels good while it's happening. And sometimes it doesn't feel good when it's happening, and it's still a soulmate connection. And I feel like there's a lot to be gained from this relationship. And I think that he can really help you to soften and open your heart a little bit. And he's very fun and funny. And if I have the right guy, and just delightful. But I wouldn't put so much seriousness on it. Not that it can't be a serious relationship or a long-term relationship. I think absolutely it can. But we don't want to strangle the life out of it by worrying about it too hard, or thinking, is this the one, or is he this, or is he that, or is this going to be a problem, or is that going to be a problem? Like, I would just let all that go and just enjoy the experience and let it open you up and soften you a little bit. And, oftentimes we try to like run all the angles to prevent ourselves from loss, because loss hurts. But like in this particular case, especially, I feel that what you're being called to do is not do that, to feel into it and to enjoy it, and enjoy it while it lasts. It may very well last for a really long time. But it feels that the more reticent and questioning you are and fearful you are, the more you put up walls. And that, that's not going to be beneficial in this case. You're really being called to soften and to trust and to just see where it goes. So I'm sending you a ton of love. And I hope you're enjoying the relationship.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Thanks, Yuri.
Thank you.
All right. May, would you like to join us on camera and audio? There we go.
May, your dog is adorable. I was watching your sweet little doggy picture on your freeze frame.
Yeah. He passed though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's one of the things that.
Okay, we can go there. I'm happy to chat with your dog if he wants to chat with me. I think he does. He's really cute. What was his name?
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, sure. He's right there. He's just, if I read him correctly, he's like, he's like, he keeps pushing you with his nose. I don't know if that's something that he did, but he's like jamming his head into you. Does that make sense? It's like really cute. Like, to get your attention. I feel like he would just take his whole face and like boom, boom, boom. And he's right next to you. And he's also super cuddly, and he just feels like a floppy dog. Like, he's very strong. He's not, but like, he's just like, when I used to flop down next to her, it would be like an audible thunk. Like, he wasn't like a graceful dog. He was just like a thunker. Do I have the right guy?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It's just, they give me these signatures so that I can make sure I'm seeing him correctly. He's adorable. He's loving. He is fine. He says, you thought that I was in a lot of pain at the end, and he had some trouble breathing, I think. Like, I hear him going, and he also had some body pain, like something in his foot wasn't wasn't good. His foot really hurt, like a kind of shooting pain in his foot at the end. He just wants you to know that he's okay, that he was okay. He's really sorry because he said his passing was traumatic for you. It was like, it was, he said it was harder for her than it needed to be. And it was very scary for you. Does that make sense? But he wants you to know he's totally at peace. He absolutely loves you. I feel that you held him when he died. Is that true?
No,
Well, he feels
I
like
was
you
cold.
did. Well, he said he's telling me that he really appreciates how you held him when he died. So I'm not really sure what that means, but like I just see you, and maybe he just wants you to know that he was with you, and that he loves you, and that he's okay and he's safe. Okay. He does say no obligation, but he's like, whenever you're ready to get another dog, he says you should go for it. He said you should go for it. Like he said, like she really likes to have a partner. She really likes to have like that. He's really funny. He's like a better half. Like your dog. And he's like, he's like, I was really good for her. And I don't know like what happened like at the end, because it feels like it was pretty fast, and like maybe he got into something, or like I don't know what happened, but like he says I'm sorry because it was like really fast, it was really hard for her. He's like, it absolutely wasn't your fault. And this might surprise you, but what he's saying is you were really ready for just like a different kind of, like, I took you from point A to B, and I'll always be your friend, and I'll always be with you, and I love you. And like he tells me, like, if you want me to, I can curl up to sleep with you every single night. Like it doesn't, like I'm still connected with you, and I'm still happy to be there and share. But he says like your next dog will have a lot more energy. He'll be a lot more graceful, a lot more like, I don't know. He's showing me like this, like walking like with his little chest up, and a little more energetic. I feel him being a little bit more of like a hunting dog, like a faster dog, less than this one's telling me he was kind of a floppy dog. And it's just going to be what your energy needs right now. You kind of like, he's like, I was like really good for you to get you from point A to point B, but your energy just needs a different kind of dog right now. And he says, I love you so much. And I don't know if this makes any sense, but he's like, I was your cuddle face or something like that. Like, just, he's just like so funny. He's also kind of stubborn, and I think he used to sometimes drive you crazy. Like he could be like really annoying, and like he just would like do like really like dump his food bowl over, or just like really dopey things. And he was like, I was kind of the comic relief, but sometimes I know I would drive her nuts. But he's like, I just got tired, and I kind of took it as far as I can go. And he's like, your next dog is going to be awesome, but I'm always going to be in your heart, and I love you. And he's just also telling me he's at peace. You did nothing wrong. He really appreciates you, and it's not your fault.
Also, my best friend passed too about the same time, like within the year. That was tough.
Oh, okay. So that's even the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. And what was your best friend's name?
Denny,
Denny? Male or female?
male, Denny. Dennis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I see. Okay. He was a complicated person. And did he have some kind of addiction or some kind of self-harming in his personality?
Drinking, maybe.
Yeah. And again, it may not be like an addiction, but like
Yeah.
I just feel that he could be very self-destructive. Like his internal dialogue was not very good. He could be really hard on himself. And it kind of that's kind of what made him sick, or whatever got him. It was just, he wasn't running on the right fuel. He was very, very negative and very hard on himself, and sometimes hard on other people too. He could be, I feel that he probably had a little bit of a sarcastic streak where he could be a little unkind sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, and if you think about when that bubbled out from the outside, that's how he treated himself all the time. So it was just the constant ticker tape in his mind, and it was very heavy. He was very kind of angry at the end with himself, and just, it was just a lot of that energy. I don't feel that he like hurt himself or anything like that on purpose. I feel that it was an illness that took him down, but the illness came from that kind of energy. It was just like an internal acid sourness, like that, you know what I mean? Like he didn't really know how to embrace life. Okay. And he's telling me too, and this is so interesting, so I hope this lands in a way that feels life affirming to you, but he's saying too, my passing was actually at a pretty good time for you. He says, even though she's processing my loss, you're processing my loss, like I wasn't super good for you. And you're like poised to, like, you have an opportunity to make a little bit of a, or maybe a lot of bit of a shift in your life, how you understand life, a big spiritual shift. And so some of us who are falling away, you know, the letting go of the old to bring in the new, and there is new there. Are you in a romantic relationship?
I've been with Mike for like 14 years.
Okay. Because I feel like I may be another friendship then, but I feel like the potential for another relationship too. I mean, it may not be another romantic relationship. I'm not gonna, you know, talk on your 14-year relationship, but I do feel like there's going to be new things coming in, new ways of understanding things. And you've kind of been letting go of the old. Okay. And again, this friend is telling me, Denny is telling me, like, you guys were really close, but he was really negative and he took more than he gave to you sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's like, I really took a lot of her energy and it wasn't fair to her and it wasn't right. And he says, his hope for you is that you learn. He's like, the bonus of you is that you saw the light in me. You saw me how I really was. And you benefited sometimes because he was really funny and you really liked the way he was funny, and he could voice things and say things that I don't think you felt comfortable saying, you know, and he was kind of a smart ass, and that gave you strength. But he's like, he says, I appreciate how you saw me and I appreciate how much you love me. See now, but I did at the time. But he says he was a little bit of a burden to you. He brought your energy down a little bit. And he just says you deserve more. You deserve more people to see your light, to share in your light, to boost up your light. And he said, absolutely more people in your world to make you smile. He's like, you deserve people to make you smile, because he said, this is so sweet. He said, because I could always count on you to make me smile. Right. And he says, I want that for you. I want that for you. I want you to surround yourself by other people that give you what you give to others. Okay. I hope that helps. Anything else before we wind it down? And he's with you. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just torn. My parents live in Texas and I'm in California. So I don't know what I should do.
Your parents are what?
They're kind of aging, right? So
yeah,
they need my help, but I have to kind of split myself between Texas and California, and I don't know what to do with work and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I'm mindful of time because that's almost like a whole fresh question. But let me see if I can get you a quick answer on that, and then if not, come back and we can do this one next week, my friend, because there's a lot there. But it's really about taking care of you. It's really about taking care of you. You feel a lot of duty and responsibility to others. I think sometimes you bite your tongue, you know, and don't express your anger, which is why you attracted this person to you, because he was very good at expressing his anger. And so it was very freeing for you. But he says, whatever you do, whatever you decide about these different things, he's just like, make time in your life. Denny says, make time in your life to find the people that make you smile. Okay. He wants to leave it with that, and be aware of the people that don't make you smile. They may not be your people anymore. Okay. And it may be a time of letting go of what was to move forward to what you want more of and where you want to be. Okay. So I'm sending you so much love. And if you have that other question, feel free to come back. I think we have at least one more of these. And, you know, I do private sessions too, because I hate to leave you hanging, but I want to make sure we get to everyone. And I'm sending you so much love.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, May. All right. Lenore, would you like to join us on camera and audio?
And if we have time at the end, I'll answer May's question because I can't help myself, but we'll see how long we go. So don't sign off. If I can help, I will. Lenore. Okay, letting May go for now.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great.
You have
Well,
a camera. Would you like to come on camera? Or
Oh,
would you
it's not showing. Let's see.
let's see.
Oh,
There we go.
share my video.
Okay.
Okay,
You're good.
there.
Okay. Well, hello, Lenore. What would you like guidance on today?
Well, lately I've been encouraged to put myself out more with my offerings and speaking at the SoulSearch, for example.
Beautiful.
and also I was on the Awakening World and One Time Live on Facebook. So it's kind of a new thing for me. I've been more behind the scenes doing remote healing, which is more my comfort zone.
Lenore, I have a question for you. And I think this
Yes.
is coming from your guides who I'll tune into in a minute too. Is
Okay.
it fun? Is being out there more fun for you? Yes or no?
Once I'm out there, yes.
Okay.
But what the it's the technology and all of the background support that seems to keep being the challenge. Although I seem to have people wanting to help me in different areas, but still getting that that foundation of, I guess, the business, or to be more effective in sharing what I do have to offer.
Okay.
That's what and how I can do that better, or a better attitude maybe.
I got it. Guides are going. Guides are going. I got enough to go on. Okay, my beautiful friend.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, they're very sweet and they say, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, because you're very intentional, very divine, and very focused work for many, many decades, I think they say. And they just say, thank you for your service. You know, you've been a boon and a gift to the planet. Okay. That's the first thing that they say to you. Okay. The second thing they say is, don't do it if it's not fun. One of the things that's happening now is you have this feeling of not enoughness. Everyone else is doing it this way. Other people are known for doing this. I should do this. I should do that. Again, they said, thank you for your service. You've done amazing work on the planet up until now. There's nothing else you need to do. Do it if it's fun. If it's fun doing, do it. And so I see two warring factions. I feel a little bit of shoulding going on. I should do this. This is important. Other people are doing this. People are out there doing this, and they're really well known doing this. And I've been doing this for all these years from my garage, and you know what I mean? But you've been doing it successfully. Like, I feel like you've supported a lot of people, like, and you've been quite serious and quite intentional in this work, correct? I mean, it's like your life's work. It's what you do. But they really say, like, do it because it's fun. Do it because it's fun. Focus on the fun. And look, I totally sometimes our people's in these readings are mirrors, you know, because today I'm coming on with all these polished businessy people, and they have their perfect little headshots and their perfect little this and I'm Victoria, man. Like, you know, I'm not like completely unaware of what, you know, the 3D world expects from me. But I'm perfectly happy to have SoulSearch like put together like the social media. Like, they do that very well. Like, I like to just show up and talk, right? And it's okay for you to want that too. Okay. Like, I don't want you to think about your deficiencies. I want you to think about your gifts and your offering, and let the world get you out into the world if that's what's supposed to happen. Right? Don't try to figure it out. Let the people support you. Kind of let it happen and play with it. Enjoy it. Don't look at it as a quest or something that you have to accomplish or something that you have to master. Because that energy slows you down a little bit. And it's just, it's the word that guides uses. It's disingenuine to what you want to do. Just like have fun, you know? And the last thing I'm going to say too is, I don't know about you, because some people are not like this. Many people are not like this, but I love watching myself. So I watch my TV. I'm a little sick of watching Living in Alignment season 2 because I've watched those episodes so many times while we're editing them, and I have to watch them one more time. And I've been putting it off. But other than that, I listen to my own podcast. I watch these shows. Like, you know, I love doing it. I love re-experiencing it. Like, it's just fun. And you know what I mean? Like, I think that's just because like, I'm just doing it from joy, you know? And so it's joyful to like re-experience it when I watch it again. And I'd love that for you. I don't say that to everyone, but I'd love you to watch yourself and be like, wasn't that fun? I got to be on the Awakening World and Scott's such a character. And like, I loved it when I said that, like, or, you know, when that happened, like, that's the energy I want you to start cultivating rather than I can't do this, or I can't do that, or I should do this, or I should do that. And I'm swearing a lot tonight, and I hope that's okay. But I feel like in those moments, you just got to say, fuck them. I got as far as, sorry, that's how it comes through. I listened to the guides, you know, I did I am like the experienced voice in this thing that I'm doing. And maybe I haven't been out there yet as much as other people, but I'm really an experienced voice, and I really have some things to share. And part of the thing that I want to offer at this phase in my life is some sharing about all of the wisdom that I've accumulated, you know, on my human journey. And sure, the 20-year-olds know how to work Zoom better than we do, right? But the 20-year-olds haven't been on this earth as long as we have. Does that make sense? So I want you to own your wisdom and let the young ones take care of all the stuff and have fun. Your guides say there's nothing you have to do. It should all be for your pleasure and enjoyment. Okay. And your desire to share with others. Okay. I hope that works.
Thank you. Sounds wonderful.
You're very welcome. I can't wait to watch your stuff and hope to see you on Awakening World. Sending you love, Lenore.
Thank you.
And her guides say she's like a powerhouse. Like she's really got a lot of cool stuff to share. Okay. Now, thank you and goodbye. Okay. Who else?
Lovely. All right. Alita, would you like to come on? Let's get you on camera and audio.
Someday I'm going to get used to the fact that I don't control the Zoom and I'll stop trying to mute people. It's only 11 weeks in. Hello, Alita.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Excited
Beautiful.
to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for your excitement. How can I support you today?
Well, right now, I really want to know, I'm having a dilemma with my son, and it's very hurtful. And I'm hoping that he wants to go to the Marines. And I want to know if he's going to be able to go there, or what his plan, what is he doing? Or, you know, he's struggling.
Okay. Text me his name so I can get a read on him. But again, we don't need for him to be public.
Absolutely. Let's see if I can do this.
If his friends see you, they're going to know. But nonetheless,
No.
I think it's still okay. I'm checking in with his higher self, and he actually wants you to have this information so that you can be at peace. All right. Got it. Okay. So he's a little stubborn. And he's a little bit of a narrow thinker, meaning when he sets his mind on something, that's what he sees. That's all he sees. And it's kind of like this. Do I have the right guy so far?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And he's very stuck on, this is what I have to do. This is the only thing I can do. This is the only way I can do it. And I'm going to do it. And he's probably been like this since he was a child. When he gets his mind set on something, he's not a flexible thinker. He's not open to, well, maybe consider this, or maybe, I'm sure his teachers had this issue with him. He just goes, this is the only thing I can do. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do it. Okay. Now, the thing about narrow thinkers, especially like your son, is like they may not see the whole picture. They may be they're good because they know what their goal is and they're focused on it. Like I'm a broad thinker, so sometimes I have trouble finding the goal because I kind of want to do everything at once. So he knows what he wants to do. But the thing is like sometimes he trips and he stumbles over something. And because he's thinking so narrowly, like he doesn't know what made him fall. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But those are opportunities. Those are the opportunities when he's on the ground and he's like, I don't know why I'm on the ground now. I'm on my back. I thought I was going there and I saw it right ahead of me. But then sometimes because I was only looking at like that much, I tripped and fell and I'm on my back and I'm looking at the sky and I don't know where that place I was going. And then he will ask for help. Okay. Because that's what he does. He has to be on the ground, disoriented, not knowing why he fell. And then after, a few moments, he's going to be like, what happened? Help me. And then you explain to him, you weren't looking down on the floor and there was this big obstacle there and you tripped over it. And then you always help him get up, see where he wants to go, show him how to walk over it. And sometimes too, he's like, I'm not going to walk over that thing. And you can help him go the other way. Okay. So you may have that opportunity. He may stumble in this. And when he stumbles on this, that may be your opportunity to step in, but now is not the time. The other thing that I want you to know about the soul that's really, really important is he chose this way to explore life. And it's very important that you respect that.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So as scary as it is for you, as much as like you're worried that, he doesn't have all the information, he doesn't see things clearly, he's naive, he's a tunnel, he doesn't understand, like, it's better to kind of let him go forward on his own accord. Give him information, whether even if he's going like this, because you're allowed to. But I always say with parents, you give the information once. Maybe when they're little, you can give it 3 times. Once to say it, once to make sure they heard it. And then if it's a directive, the 3rd time is now you're in trouble. But in his case, it's not that. He's an adult. But so you can say it, you can say it once to make sure you heard it. Once to say it, twice to make sure you heard it, and the 3rd time to say, I promise I won't say it again, but then you have to stop because anything more than that is nagging and they're just going to become more deaf. And he really wants to try this. He really wants to figure this out. He's not completely unaware of the obstacles for him, but he really wants to see if he can make a go at it. And I would really, let him give it a try. You're worried about his absolute well-being because I don't know if he's on the spectrum or what the deal is, but again, he's a little naive and has a lot of blind spots. And so there's a feeling that, he's going to walk into the edge of the maze and get stuck there and not know how to turn around and starve to death, but he's actually moving into a system or structure that could be very supportive for him because he does very well with very clear, direct, black and white structured situations. And it would be like that. Okay. So it could be good. I almost feel like the structure of this would kind of know how to deal with him. And he could actually be okay then. But the biggest thing he wants you to know, and this is more like his higher self, I think, talking to you, but his personality is not far behind. He's like, you got to stop worrying about me, Mom. You have to let me figure these things out for myself. Like, even if I fail, even if I falter, even if God, I'm using so many bad words tonight. F up, which he wouldn't use that word, by the way. But if I mess up, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to like believe in me enough to let me try.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? And his higher self is hugging you. He's like, I know it's scary for you. You're empathic. So you feel for him. And I'm sure he was like bullied or like things happened young when he just didn't pick up on cues or signs or, you know what I mean? So it's hard to watch that and know that he's an adult who thinks, but he kind of knows his limitations now. And he says he's also, because I feel you're so worried about him being bullied in this situation. And, because that could go really wrong. But he's like, he says he's kind of learned to deal with the bullies.
Okay, good.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he just kind of like, some people are like that. And he's like, even if I have like a really terrible situation, like, it's just like, like, let me try. And then you can sit down the night before and prepare me and just tell me like what you think will help me stay safe. And then I'll listen to you.
So you do feel he's going to go through it. He is going to get in and go through the the process?
I don't know. I think he needs to do as far as he can do and see what happens. Again, if he stumbles and falls and lands on his back, he'll ask you for help, and then you guys can reevaluate. But I would reevaluate from what his goals are. I would help him articulate. You really wanted to do this because you wanted to be a hero and you wanted to, whatever his story is, how else can we do that? What are some other ways that we could do that if this one doesn't work?
Okay.
So that you're understanding it on his metric. He says, sometimes she tries to control me and she tries to do it for me because she thinks I don't know how to do it for myself. And he's like, maybe I do and maybe I don't, but I need to do things for myself because otherwise I'm not going to learn.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
Those are his words. He might have even articulated that, you know? So like, this is when he used to, it's really scary because, you know, we don't want our kids to come to harm's way, and our sweet creative minds can imagine all of the craziness that can, you know, fall upon them when they become independent, but he has his own point of attraction. Do you know what that means from the standpoint of the law of attraction? Like, he's running the show anyway. So you can't really protect him from himself because it's his job to be himself and to figure it out. And he's pretty smart. He's pretty wise. Like, as many obstacles as he's brought into his path, he's brought in a lot of supports too.
Yeah. Yeah. He is very smart. That is
Yeah.
very smart. Yeah.
And he loves you very much. And he knows you love him very much. Like, he's like telling me or showing me, like, she loves me. Like, there's no lack of him feeling the love that you have for him. But he is saying that sometimes you think you're putting the oxygen mask over my face as the plane is landing, but I can't breathe.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's like, I'm an adult. So now you put the oxygen mask on you, and then you wait for me to grab mine and put it on my very own face. And I know how to do that. I'll be okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds
Sending
good.
you a
Thank
ton of
you.
love.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. We have one more, right?
One more, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Alita. Peter, would you like to join us? Unmute and video. There we are.
Oh, Victoria, how are you?
Good. How are you? Nice to see you.
You too.
How can I support you today?
I've been getting transmission from Zakai as the soul incarnate.
Okay.
I'd like you to give me a reading about this transmission and this incarnation as Zakai.
Okay, you're gonna have to tell me a little bit more because I don't totally understand the question. But
Okay, I need you to give me a reading about my energy.
Okay.
The transmission I've been getting about Zakai.
So you've been getting some information about an entity called Zakai?
Yes, that I am the incarnate of Zakai.
You are the incarnation of this energy, Zakai.
Yes.
And you want to know what I think about that, or what your guides say about that?
What do you pick up from the energy?
Okay, I get what I get. I'm not sure I can answer your question, but let me see what I can do. The energy that you're picking up is not one that's super comfortable for me, to be honest. It's very serious, and the bandwidth isn't super comfortable for me. So I'm not sure I'm going to go there, but I'm going to see what your other guides say and what I can pick up for you. Okay. And what your other guides say is they want you to know that you're loved. They want you to know that you're safe. They want you to relax a little bit. They want you to not take life so seriously. And they want you to, oh God, how do they say this? Not make things so important. Okay. Because they say sometimes that seriousness is your detriment, and that it may be beneficial to you. And I don't know if this is going to land, but I'm going to try. And they're just giving you a lot of love. You just need a lot of loving energy is what I see. And just a lot of, so you can kind of go, I can feel that and I can relax into it. Right? Like, your soul is here in this body just to feel like that, just to feel love, just to feel safe, just to feel, and not be working so hard, trying so hard, figuring so hard, proving so hard. They said that has been a pattern in many other bodies. And you've lived on earth quite a few times. And it's also been a pattern in, I don't know what your, where you come from, like, like ethnically or country wise.
I'm West African.
Yeah, a lot of it comes from like your familial lineage and where you've been there too. Okay. And so it's around you. It's really around you, just relaxing a little bit more into life, trusting yourself a little bit more and not making everything so serious, And then I would say too, and we're going to get, I think, at least to touch on your question, I think a little bit too, and I hope this will help you. And if not, let it go, because that's your job to discern what lands and what doesn't. But I think too, like when we are connecting with the spirit world, right? When we are like we don't want to take it too seriously. Is it important work? Sure. Do you want to be like flippant about it? No, like, like it's a beautiful thing to do, but it's you have to have that playful nature to know, kind of like I always say, I get what I get and I don't get upset. I let go of the rest. Like I trust the process. I have a playful idea about it. I have a loving idea about it. It's soft, it's gentle, it's not serious, because I recognize that nothing I know from this human lens will ever capture what I really know. Okay? It's impossible. We can never understand through the human perspective all the secrets of the universe. We just can't. We can approximate them. We can have some understanding that guides us on the next step of our journey, that brings us peace, that brings us joy, that, guides us. But like, if I'm trying to figure out exactly what the truth is, then I'm a little bit stuck in the human lens and I'm not living in the soulful lens. So have a little more playfulness with it. When I have, and again, it's really sweet when we get validation from other people, and I'm going to try to give you that in a minute. But, so it's really fun when, I like Suzanne Wilson, who I met through SoulSearch. I was on her podcast and she asked me a question. I said, I'm going to tune into the guides. And maybe I shared this before. And she was like, "Ooh, when you said that, I see guides as funnels. And I just saw 3 funnels come into your space." That made me so happy, because that was like validation, and we love validation, right? But just because she saw 2 funnels, it doesn't make it any more real than the fact that I intuit that they're there. Do you know what I mean? It's playful. Like I don't have to know the way that we have to know in school when the teacher gets mad at us if we don't have the answer. So I invite you in doing this work to soften a little bit, to have fun with it, and that will lighten this transmission, rather than having to have a story, like, because there's a heaviness to the way that you're connecting that I don't think is serving you. Okay. And I don't even think it's helping you connect with the highest energies. And the answer to your question is yes, I do feel the energy you tapped into is something that you have been related to, but I just feel that there are higher energies that want to support you, more loving, more playful energies, and that the aspect that you're tapping into here, though it is working for you and it's giving you some very good information and it's fruitful to some degree, I would just love you to relax a little bit so you can bring in, just more of that loving, supportive, gentle, comforting, kind of energy. Because I think that when you start to receive and channel from there, you're going to just have so much more fun. And then this energy will be incorporated in it, but it will be so much more. So I hope that makes sense. It's not that what you're doing is wrong or not true. I think it's totally accurate. I just wanted to kind of bring in an even broader perspective to kind of make that even more exciting and more joyous for you. Okay. So I hope that one worked.
It did. One more. I just came from Colombia.
Okay.
Where I was guided to go and do some activation relay lines.
Okay.
So can you see about that energy, how that process works, and if you can pick up the energy and the vibration?
Okay. So where did you do this by yourself? Did you do this with a group?
I went by myself. I was still guided to go by myself, to go alone. So
okay. Yeah, I feel that for you, there was definitely I think that you really enjoy being a keeper of the planet and doing this work. And I think it fits very much with like kind of some family traditions and other things. So I definitely think that you should continue to enjoy it. And I do feel, for me, again, this isn't work that I do. So I can only see what I see from the guides, but it does feel like there was a benefit for you to be in that place and to be in that spot. And you have some past life stuff there. And I do feel that it was a benefit to you energetically as well as benefit to the place there. And I do feel that in other bodies and in other bodies that were somewhat recent, even though they feel like they're distant in time, but they're very closely related to the moment that is now for you, if that makes sense. It's the only way I can explain it. But you've done work on healing the land before. That's very comfortable for you. It's something that you've done in a number of other bodies from different perspectives. And so part of it too is just kind of catching up with yourself and remembering the things that you did in other bodies as you start to like move on this journey and do more things here. Your guides also say that you like to be the one who knows, meaning you like to be an authority when you work with other people. And they invite you to know you can't, like, I like to be the authority too, but remember that your higher self is always the authority. And more importantly, like I opened this show with, your clients, your guides, like, you know, your clients or whoever you serve, they're their own authority. And so it'll help you a little bit to soften that. Like, you don't have to have anyone else's answers, right? But you can start to receive your own. And as you start to receive your own and enjoy the process of receiving your own from this sort of playful, fun kind of way, rather than you have a lot of seriousness, but as it gets a little bit more playful, I think you're going to enjoy discovering that you're able to like share some of your answers with others in ways that help them remember their own. Okay. So sending you a ton of love. It sounds like you're having a lot of fun. Beautiful. All right. I'm checking the time. I think we got to wrap this one up, unfortunately, for tonight. I'm going to send a parting word to Mai because I know she stayed on the call and just see if anything else comes through her guides, but you don't have to pop back on. I'm just going to like give a closing to everybody. And I want her to know, I want all of you guys to know from your guides that you're loved, that you're lovable, that you're beautiful. And they just want you to know that life doesn't have to be so hard. Life doesn't have to be so hard. So, you know, look for those moments to cherish yourself, to love yourself, to hold yourself through those moments when it feels hard. But also invite that deep knowing that it really can be easier. It really can be easier. It wants to be easier. And, you know, that ease and that flow is your birthright. And so the more that you acknowledge that, the more you can invite it into your life more and more and more, and just, you know, breathe and just breathe and relax and enjoy and know that all is well. So those are the closing messages. And thank you for everyone. This was a really fun group.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. Next week, we have episode 12.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Beautiful, everyone.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Welcome to Ask Your Spirit Guides with Dr. Victoria Shaw, your weekly gateway to divine guidance and soul alignment. Each week, intuitive counselor and spiritual teacher Dr. Victoria Shaw connects with spirit to bring through live channeled messages from your personal guides, offering clarity, healing, and support on your journey. Whether you receive a personal reading or simply tune in, know that every episode delivers a powerful energetic transmission meant just for you. We're live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific on SoulSearch TV, streaming online on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and our mobile app. Take a deep breath, open your heart, and prepare to receive. This is Ask Your Spirit Guides, and your journey starts now.